Thank you, Chairman, and I'd like to welcome our witnesses. And I suppose, you know, Chairman, you summed it up quite a lot yourself there earlier. That we're in an astonishing situation. We find ourselves in this country, and you know, you did say the lack of self-sufficiency, and it's a word that's glaring in many fronts. But I have a few questions, and I know that there's great anger out there with the horticulturists and the nurseries out there, and quite rightly so, to have such a resource ourselves and throwing it away and importing it. It just tells you the way this country is going at the moment, and sadly it's grinding our country to a halt on many fronts. But the questions I have to ask is, were reports that Irish peat was leaving Ireland true? And if so, was any of that peat Bordemona peat?
Do you have a particular period, Deputy Collins, that you're referring to?
Well, in recent times, like the last 12 months.
Bordemona ceased exporting peat back the best part of a year ago. I don't know the exact date, but it was probably sometime back last May or June. And we haven't exported any bulk peat since then.
So you've exported absolutely no peat since then?
No bulk peat, no.
No bulk peat. Any peat?
There may have been some supplies of retail peat that was mainly non-peat based products, but there may have been a small percentage of peat in some retail products.
Okay. What is the status of getting Irish peat to Irish growers to allow the realistic transition to non-peat crop growing?
So I could just clarify that question for me, Deputy?
The status, we'll say, of getting Irish peat, we'll say, to Irish growers. That's what is the, we'll say, to allow realistic transition. You see, there's been no transition here as such. You know, there might be possibilities here if there was time given, you know, and the problem is there hasn't. So what is the status of, we'll say, getting Irish peat to Irish growers to allow this realistic transition to non-peat crop growing?
Oh, sorry, thank you, Deputy. Look, and Bordemona is aware of that challenge that's faced by the growers in Ireland. So by entering into this arrangement with ICL, that's where we want to provide a period of time to enable the Irish customers to go on a transition. And as I said previously, with the small volume of Bordemona peat being made available, along with the facilities at Coolnamona, along with other ingredients that ICL will put into these growing media ready-made composts, there will be a product available to the Irish growers to enable them to transition away from 100% peat-based products to non-peat-based products over a period of time. So that opportunity will now exist.
And you says over a period of time, what kind of timeline are you talking about?
Well, initially we've entered into a lease agreement for a period of 3 years.
Okay. Is there any data, we'll say at this stage, look, we've been talking about this issue, we'll say, for quite a while on the environmental impact of transporting peat from the Balkans to Ireland, and in lost quality of nursery stock product, B, we'll say Irish horticulture jobs, and C, the impact on Irish horticulture businesses?
Deputy, I wouldn't be aware of some of the particular answers to that. Maybe I'll pass over to my colleague, Dr. John.
Thank you, Chair, and good evening, Deputy Collins. I think at a high level, some of the earlier chapters in the review of the use of the peat moss and horticulture report referred to by Deputy Carty goes through those numbers there, and I think that's already been read into the record of this, or into the committee, or the record of the House on this committee. I can go through them if you want and call them out here, but they're in that report.
Okay, we'll read that later. Thank you.
Okay, Deputy Collins.
Thank you.